And there we are. 4 o'clock Sunday stories with somebody banging downstairs. Must be some decorating going on. Hi, I'm Ernie Boxall, and as you know, I come across every Sunday with a story, a take on my week, and stories that I have found interesting through that week. And I have been with a friend, and we've been to Cotsall, which is near Birmingham, and I met two ladies there, and they've got two stories that make me feel really grateful. One lady I talked to has been a woman working with children all her life, a social worker. Apparently, according to what I've been told, she was a born social worker, and she's worked in the social side all her life. And it sounds as if she's never had any real support. Not not particularly in terms of colleagues, but like when she's got home. And there have been some health issues, which I think could be down to, and certainly when I worked in therapy, a lot of the issues I dealt with were from people like nurses, social workers, people who cared about people, but then perhaps didn't get the support they needed from the people around them. Now, the second story was of a friend of hers who we were talking to who had, it's a hell of a story to tell. She was at home with her grandchildren and a daughter when she went out, perhaps to work, I don't know. But one of her grandchildren went upstairs and found her mum asleep on the bed and tried to wake her up and couldn't. Ran downstairs to her sister who came up, and she couldn't wake her mum up at all either. And it turns out that the mum had died in her sleep. Can you imagine the devastating effect that had not only on the children but on the mother of the girl who died? Now, when she was with us, she showed no sign of the grief that she must still have been feeling after so, I don't know how long it was. It wasn't recent, I don't think. But the grief of having that happen to her. And the children, who knows what effect that has had on them. Because I know that I have a channel called No Story Stagnates, where people tell me their stories from before they were born to where they are now. And those stories always contain areas of grief, of sadness, of guilt, even. But few contain the story where children have found their parent asleep and then dead. And it's why I encourage everyone to start to think about the stories in their life and maybe even start to tell them, because through my work as a therapist, I found out that it was only when people started to tell the story that the healing began. And I don't know the children. It looks outwardly as if the lady has dealt with the trauma reasonably well, but then how the hell would I know? I've only met her once. And it does make you think about, I've had a couple of downs recently, but nothing like that. Nothing really that I couldn't handle. And it makes you grateful for maybe the opportunity to wake up every morning and see what the day's got to offer. And then at night when you go to bed, be grateful that you've been able to. And hopefully be grateful that you're going to wake up in the morning again, because let's face it, one morning you won't. So live every day as if you might not be there tomorrow. That means within reason, not caring what people think. It also means within reason fighting for everything you believe in. And by fighting, I mean really not physical fighting, but everything you can. If you hear of something, you disagree with it, don't clam up. Debate, argue. If you see something you disagree with, don't turn your back. Don't get your phone out and film it. See if you can intervene. See if you can make a difference. And if that difference ends up with you being beaten up or perhaps worse, then in my opinion now, that is what life had in store for you anyway. But if we all decide to turn away, if we all decide not to debate, if we all decide to just live in a bubble, then it's not just us, is it? Our kids are going to suffer and our grandkids are going to suffer. And we've got to take that in mind every time we come across something that we don't agree with. So I think I'll leave it at that because, as I say, it's had a profound effect on me. And maybe it's had a profound effect on you. Let me know. Let's have a conversation about trauma and what we're grateful for. Have a great day. See you next week. Take care.